All right, guys, we're just gonna come out and say it. I think it's time to let Bungie go out to pasture.
Yeah,
I think it's time to go ahead
pull
and
the plug on this one. It's gotten pretty bad. It's gotten pretty bad.
That's an understatement. So as you guys are all aware, Bungie's in free fall right now.
And Destiny has been in free fall for even longer than that. You feel me?
Yeah, man. Between the constant layoffs, the plagiarism, the toxic work environment, it's just not looking good for Bungie, to say the least. Let's just be honest. Who's really talking about Marathon right now, as far as the game itself?
Yeah, nobody really at all. The most you've heard of the game is that it was disappointing. It is very nothing. It's an extraction shooter. What do you
It's an extraction shooter that's supposed to be for casuals, even though that's an oxymoron if you know anything about extraction shooters.
Yeah.
And that it's the most sweaty, hardcore, no life game format there is.
The appeal of the format.
It's like, come on, man. There's no conceivable universe in where a game in which you grind and level up your character, and then if you die while doing that or after having done that, you lose all of your gear, all of your stats, and have to start over. There is no universe where a casual player will be interested in something like that.
I knew the Destiny for sure was gonna be in the worst state ever when it came to my realization, these expansions that were in the game before don't even exist anymore. It's like it's not a matter of will they bring it back. They can't. They're gone in the ether. I knew the game was dead from there.
As a long time Destiny player, a day one adopter of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. I am a Destiny veteran. I've done 4 tours. Okay, I've lost good friends during the Curse of Osiris. I've lost good friends on the Leviathan raid. I've lost it's been a hell of a time being a Destiny player. I'm a former Destiny player, and it's been in decline. I actually haven't touched Destiny since Lightfall. It's been a while. And as a Destiny player, I'm gonna say I haven't been interested in anything Bungie has done. No Destiny stuff at all, and especially not Marathon.
And it's I don't know. I'm not the most knowledge of the situations prior to the current one we all are talking about, but I do know that they have a history. And when it comes to this conversation of plagiarism, they're currently in court for something right now that they can't really defend themselves because the expansion's not even in the game anymore. They can't defend themselves on that one. They stole a whole Nerf gun graphic thing. They stole from Nerf. I don't get that one either. There's plenty of examples. Unfortunately, it feels like an annual thing.
That's to say nothing of this latest act of plagiarism with Anti-Real and them basically copying this person's entire art style for Marathon.
They stole their whole fucking flow. The whole
word for word, bar for bar.
The one thing people were complimenting Marathon on was it's a unique art style. It's somebody else's.
It's somebody else's that they didn't pay for.
It's the biggest kick in the nuts ever. Right. And it's we all remember, I don't know why you wouldn't remember, the constant stories of just how bad working at the Bungie was, the horrid environment, the toxic mentality of a lot of the higher ups in the company. And not to mention, we all see almost every other month now 100 people have been fired, another 300 moved there to Sony, another 300, but it feels like nobody's even working there anymore. It's Bungie, who's even left?
Bungie's literally hemorrhaging its workforce. It's been bleeding for years now at this point. It seems, like what he just said, it just seems like every year, we get this every year, every few months, we get a new round of layoffs, and guess whose name's on the list? Bungie. And they're a couple hundred employees that they had to lay off, and it's none of the management.
Right, I'm it's never anybody high up. Crazy how they work, crazy.
And speaking of employees, we got plenty of quotes from employees say former employees of Bungie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Saying that
they don't care about gamers. Gamers are customers, and they don't make games. They make product.
Yeah.
They
all kinds of just devastating, just very sad shit to hear. Honestly.
Very, very much so. Even the employees have lost complete faith, and it's like, oh man.
It's like when the employees are urging your game to fail, like they're urging you to just let their own development studio die. That's when you know you have a problem.
Yeah,
so you have a big, huge problem on your hands, and I don't see how they're gonna save this game. They're gonna have to make their money back, however much money they spent on this game. They have to make the money back, but I don't see how they're gonna do that when it's like I said, a 3v3 always online extraction shooter, and you're selling it.
They're not making any money, baby. Sony is scrapping. Sony is scrapping these niggas. They're not making any money back, bro.
They're not making their money back.
Stop.
I think Sony should just go ahead and cut their losses of that $3.5 billion they spent on Bungie.
It's over. If it's about making their money back, I think that's over, honestly. Especially with this latest controversy about the whole art style being stolen. It's over.
That just leads us to, we're going to react to video from the Eggman.
Boy, I sure do love Bungie. And now that they're leaving Microsoft, they can cast off the corporate chains, make games on their own, and finally, they can be their true selves. Put the shackles back on them.
If my 16-year-old self had seen what Bungie has become today, I
already
wouldn't believe it. And if you told me that in 2025,
couldn't agree
I'd
more.
think Bungie is worse than EA, I'd say, okay, sure, Grandpa, let's get you back to the home. Yet here we are, living in a life beyond reality. Bungie has recently been exposed for some damning plagiarism, and today we're going to be covering Bungie's current reputation, the state of Marathon, just how bad this plagiarism is. So let's jump into it. Bungie was the first game developer I could attach a face to. When you play video games as a kid, you don't really think about the people behind them. But that all changed with Halo 2 when my mom got a copy of the collector's edition at an auction.
Wow.
Hey, yo.
With all these extra features like fucking Lord of the Rings. I remember watching those.
That's hard.
Hey, yo.
Man,
Those
the
are the
people who make
days.
video games are pretty cool. Now look at me, covering the dastardly deeds of a developer that inspired me. You know, someone at Bungie once told me that
That's already like that in and of itself.
Yeah,
is calls for alarm. And,
just crazy.
The sadness of that,
the
how
spectacle.
far from grace a company can fall.
They were literally on top of the world at some point. Halo and Bungie ruled the entire gaming space at one point.
Defined what first-person shooters and online gameplay can be.
Right. Exactly.
And now look at where we are.
Bungie may have left Microsoft, but Microsoft never left them, and I think with each passing day this statement continues to please Captain Hindsight. This is not the first or last controversy Bungie will ever have, but it seems like one of the worst. What am I talking about? Everyone's favorite subject in high school. Plagiarism.
Boy.
You made this?
Hey, yo.
I made this. You see, they're currently rebooting Marathon. Remember that trilogy of FPS games that came out shortly after Doom, giving Bungie the knowledge to then use that experience on Halo? Recently, they opened the Marathon Alpha up to players, and the reception has been lukewarm at best. Most agree that
it's because the game sucks.
No, beyond that, even beyond the game sucking, nobody wants this type of game right now. The only other game like this is successful is Tarkov.
Yeah.
The people playing Tarkov don't want to. They're
not going to play.
They would play a better version of Tarkov.
They're already playing Tarkov,
but they're already playing Tarkov. They don't want to play a worse Tarkov. Like, come on, this is the worst Tarkov. It's the worst Tarkov. They're not going to play a worse Tarkov. They want a better Tarkov.
Bungie's
they don't even want to play Tarkov.
Solid as always. Or is it? But that Marathon's gameplay is somewhat divisive. Extraction shooters are a tough sell, but whether you enjoy Marathon or not isn't the issue. It's the unjustifiable act of a multi-billion-dollar corporation and not wanting to pay artists to create art, but instead steal it from others.
I love stealing. I love taking things.
Especially at a time when artists are being screwed over by AI. It feels like pouring salt on a guy's crotch after you kick him in the balls.
Jesus.
So this comes to us from user N2, part of Anti-Real, the company that hosted all of the art. The Marathon Alpha released recently, and its environments are covered with assets lifted from poster designs I made in 2017. The year Destiny 2 came out?
Coincidence? I think not.
Now, as you can see on some of these weapons, this logo it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Come on, bro. Come on.
You got caught. And you can also see
Real quick.
these logos, though very small.
Because it's like, okay, the connotation behind stealing the full artwork and having the words, letters, and symbols all around the map means that there was never going to be a lore explanation for any of that shit. Like the alpha, the dark sex, all of that, none of this, all of these, they mean nothing.
Absolutely,
they're there because they stole them and they came with the pictures.
Yeah, so all the lore.
That's an insane thought to have. It was like, bro, this was going to be one of the huge things. The huge things to make the fucking extraction shooter casual, right? The lore. It was going to have lore and story. Well, this map, what? This map obviously wasn't.
There's none of that.
Like, what? It's like, dog, I don't get how they thought they were ever going to get away with that. I don't get that at all. Like, what?
I don't
wonder
understand.
what these up arrows mean here. They were just on the graphic sheets when we scanned them in.
Right, well, they don't mean anything.
They don't mean jack shit. Even that alone is crazy.
It's because you stole them.
Because you stole them is wild, right? Having shit just in there to look cool is whatever, right? It's head ass in my opinion, but
yeah.
The fact that you couldn't explain it in any way because it's stolen is wild. All I'm saying. This is gonna be even worse if they got away with it initially.
Jesus.
It was gonna be even worse if they got away with it initially.
Yeah, because it's gonna make all the lore channels look crazy.
Right, for real. Honestly.
They've been reused across multiple assets in Marathon. Yeah, from Marathon homepage, from Marathon press kit, from 2016. Yeah, with receipts and everything. So pretty undeniable. N2 continues, Bungie is of course not obligated to hire me when making a game that draws overwhelmingly from the same design language I have refined for the last decade, but clearly my work was good enough to pillage for ideas and plaster all over the game without pay or attribution. Important to also note, I see that Joseph Cross also follows you. Is there any insight you can give? He followed me for a few years and a few others from Bungie. Never had any communication. So it would seem the Bungie franchise art director was familiar with the person.
This nigga right here.
Right, bro. We all know what Bungie said. A rogue developer must have just put, you've known this artist for years. No, that's what I was saying. Me, they were like, man, cap.
Well, look, bro, this poor man. Look at the bag.
Bro, he looks so dead inside. He looks so dead.
His eyes aren't even, bro. He's not even looking in a direction.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? Like this eye's looking over there. This one's looking like kind of at us,
bro.
This poor man.
It's so bad. You've been following this man for years. You steal the art. It was somebody else. I don't. He's gone now. I don't know. We're good. We're gonna change the whole map, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Ridiculous,
we'll
man.
pay the artist. I'm sorry. Come on, bro. God, Jesus.
Stealing art from. The more you look into it, the worse it gets. I'm going to say that a few times in this video. These comparisons are so blatant. It's more blatant than the kid that tried to steal my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the 4th grade. It's like, dude, you asked to see my deck, and then you just pulled my secret rare magic cylinder out and slapped it underneath your butt cheeks. I saw you do that. Why? So yeah, Bungie just straight fucking ripped this guy's art. Like you rip a fat, nasty fart, on an airplane where nobody can escape because you're a terrible human being.
Jesus.
Now, I've talked with Zavala, and even he can't defend this. Isn't that right? Guardian, let me just say this. I could offer you 3 guns. I could give you 4 guns. I could go even further beyond and let you hold 5. But Guardian, there's no amount of weapons that can excuse plagiarism. Remember, kids, plagiarism funded 9/11.
Zavala,
what the
can you
fuck?
try to be normal for once?
Have you retrieved those pictures of Ikora's feet yet? Now, if you really wanted to quote or simp for Bungie, you'd probably say something like, well, what's the big deal, Acton? It's just some tiny logos from a random artist. It's not like you're copying a review or something. My friend, the problem with plagiarism is not always how gross or blatant the offense is. It's having to wonder if there's more. When you see a rat scattering around your house, you don't think to yourself, oh, look, that's just one rat. No, you think, how many Jews are under the floorboards right now? Oh, Jews.
Jeez.
I mean, geez, oh God,
Jesus
that came out wrong.
Christ.
Jeez, that went
for sure.
What
that
the-
went left.
If you're a
What?
plagiarist, the goal is to steal someone's work that isn't recognizable or familiar with your work. You hope it's obscure enough that nobody notices or cares. So if Bungie is willing to steal art from one creator, how many others are they stealing from? Is this a repeated pattern of behavior? We'll find out later. I can't even imagine the legal ramifications of releasing a game to the public that has plagiarized assets. If you sell that to people, lawyers help me out in a comment.
Wow.
Legal on this.
It's not legal, bro.
I'd cry myself to sleep for the rest of my life if I ever found out that Zavala's bright blue ass wasn't original. Guardian, I'm not fat, I'm just dummy thick. Zavala, I don't think the cool kids say that anymore. Fuck you, Guardian! The more you look into this plagiarism controversy, the worse it gets. But how bad could it be? I hid loss in my design 6 years ago, and nobody caught on. And, fellas, Marathon has the loss meme in-game.
Jesus Christ.
Bitch. You done fucked it up.
See, that's what I also want to, you know, I also want to say that whenever you have a watermarked image, right? And whenever you have a watermarked image and you want to, I want to say, you know, crop it out.
What about you?
Put something over. There's so many things you can technically do to get around a watermark. They did none of those things.
They
did none of those
plethora things they could have done.
You
They
can just not steal the art. That's the first
You
thing
just
you can do.
you left loss in the game. That is it's insane to me. If you don't know what loss is, you haven't been on the internet long enough. I'll just leave it there. It's a stupid meme for stick figure. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
This pattern.
Yeah.
That is lost. Don't look it up on your own time. It's a stupid, outdated meme. We know
Very
that
outdated.
they didn't put it in manually.
It's one of the first memes ever.
It's outdated. We know that they didn't put it in because it was out there. Initially, the people were like, "Oh man, they're with you. They know stuff. They put the lost meme in. They're knowledgeable. They know something."
No.
Is an old artwork just ripped from the artist online, and it happened to have lost in it, and here we are.
Might as well put Dick Butt in there.
It's like, bro, where's Dick Butt?
Yeah, where's Dick Butt? Put Dick Butt in there too.
It's so much of this is just like, you gotta be pranking me. Bungie didn't.
You gotta
do this.
be.
It couldn't be.
You gotta be.
It's just so blatantly dumb. Volume. No, the video volume.
What the? Oh,
Because you did the ad.
oh yeah. Fuck.
We're gonna edit that out.
Looking around, dazed and confused, wondering, what's lost? What is that? The second I put it up on screen, you are gonna know exactly what it is. That's what I thought.
Yeah, there we go.
The meme is like one of the most reposted images on the internet, to the point where all it takes to represent the comic strip is just like 8 lines.
Yeah.
And this is in Marathon. They plagiarized Sticks. They plagiarized Sticks, man. I love from Marathon Bulletin. Come on, man. Dude, I was scrolling and they deadass stole this whole dude's portfolio, and even some Bungie devs art people follow him. This is so heartbreaking.
Yeah, that's why I'm mostly
Bungie.
sad.
It is sad, Lil Uzi Vert.
Yeah. I think it's safe to say parody is dead on planet Earth. You just couldn't make Monty Python these days. Reality is simply too absurd. And if that wasn't bad enough that this person is getting their art stolen, the gaming publication DualShockers is publicly posting fake quotes.
What?
I'm completely floored, she wrote. This is my full-time job. I sell these posters online. They're not obscure. A major company has deemed it necessary to pay a designer to imitate or trace rather than license or commission the work. Insane fake quote, LOL. I am unemployed.
What the fuck?
Double whammy right there.
I was just gonna say, there's no way that they're
Voice
employed. Stop,
and
first
your
off.
talent. What is happening?
Right.
Homie can't catch a break. Do
Right.
a good thing today and go follow N2.
Right.
If you still use
Right.
Twitter. But it doesn't stop there,
Jesus.
folks. So I found this thread on Blue Sky, who appears to be another person involved with the art on Anti-Real. I'll link it in the description if you want to read it yourself. But I want to scroll down. I do not need names found on assets to assume that we have been stalked insanely by Joseph A. Cross for a long time. I will close with this. This existed for years. No one in the game industry or films hired anyone. Anti-Real became a Pinterest for these corporate games to claim our hard work as their own, to earn quick money and settle small collaterals. Disgusting. That really sums it up well. I mean, the Bungie of the early 2000s, to think them capable of such a thing is mind-boggling.
Well, that's just the thing. This is not the Bungie. These people aren't there.
Right, they left decade ago.
There is no more. Bungie has been a shell of its former self since Halo 4.
These are a bunch of people running around under the same name and guys as those great once developers. There's a whole new batch of jerk offs.
The old guard has long since perished.
Some hardworking, some very much not so. And it's, and it just so happens that the very much not so are definitely the ones holding the umbrella and leading the charge.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's just a shit show.
Everybody else
This is the kind of thing that happens when greed takes over, and making money and cutting the workforce and saving as much as you possibly can and being the cheapest motherfucker out there. This is the kind of stuff that happens. And that Marathon is going to release an art book. Can we at least call it the
Wait,
art
no! I didn't know that.
Yo,
I did not know
get
that.
the fuck
They
outta
were going to
here.
release an art book? Stop.
Art book full of plagiarized art.
No. Were they just going to release downright screenshots of Anti-Real stuff? No way. There's
And
no
to not pay the
way.
Jesus, man.
What do you mean? This is so crazy.
I can't
This
believe
is insane. This is literally insane.
You can't write better comedy than this.
I'm telling you, this is bad. This is bad shit. I told Keith what is
Fuck
happening.
does that work, dog? Anyways, artists are really being treated like shit nowadays. Which reminds me, remember that $8,000 art contest I announced a few months ago? Well, I have finally decided all of the winners, including this pencil drawing of me as Goku. It is gorgeous. Thank you, Folding Solid. And who could forget Dill the Great? That's me and my homie Arbiter, man. Fantastic.
pretty
He's
dope.
won $100. And Sad
these are
Gore
pretty good drawings,
5088.
right?
Yeah, these are
is
pretty good.
Cowboy Man art. You're all right, boy. I'm still working to pay off all of the different winners. There's a lot of them, including those who got the top 3 spots. So if that video is not available today, you'll see it on Ackman TV, me going through all the fan art submissions in the next couple days. If you want to see more of this fan art or just want to interact with me and the rest of my awesome community, you can join the Discord server, link down below, or join my subreddit. Thank you for your patience. And now back to the video. Now let's take a look at Bungie's response. They ran an hour-long marathon with 0 gameplay footage while scrubbing the art for plagiarism as the game's art director offers a personal apology. There is absolutely no excuse for this oversight, Bungie says. So how did this happen? Well, Cross says, it came to our attention that an artist who worked on Marathon in the early stages of pre-production took a number of graphic elements from a graphic designer without permission or acknowledgement and placed them on a decal sheet that was then checked in 2020. Cross said that Bungie has reached out to Anti-Real and followed up to ensure we do right by this artist. No exact details on what Bungie
Well, did they actually follow up?
I want to send my personal apology to Anti-Real, whose work was used in this case. So, at the very least, Bungie has publicly apologized, which, I mean, it's the bare minimum, but it's
absolute bare minimum.
It's the absolute bare minimum is better than we could have expected from EA or somebody.
You know, honestly, you know.
Fuck-ups that you can't really brush aside and say, oh, it was just an administrative error. Bungie accused of plagiarizing yet again. What? What do you mean yet again? This isn't the first time? Bungie is once again in the plagiarism hot seat. This isn't the first time Bungie or a contractor working with them would allegedly lift another creator's work without permission. In 2023, artist element J21 noticed an uncanny representation of their work used in a cutscene for Destiny 2 Lightfall. You can see this pretty fucking blatant as well.
Holy shit.
It's completely different. See this triangle? See this triangle on the left? They didn't finish the pyramid. No, it's completely different. Case closed. Last year, Destiny 2 weapon skin featured identical elements of artist Tofu Rabbit's original design from 2015. In both instances, Bungie would agree to pay the artists. Is this just how they run business now?
Yeah, seems like it, I guess.
Pattern of behavior,
right?
I mean, it's only happened 3 times, guys. Give them a break. Now you might be wondering,
only
what
happened
does
3
EA
times.
have to do with all of this? Not a whole lot. But the point remains that I'm trying to make is that not even Electronic Arts would do something this egregious. I like bringing up EA whenever other game companies pull some shady shit because EA is like the benchmark of what you expect a greedy, soulless, awful, money-grubbing corporation to do.
I still haven't forgiven them for shutting down
like
Pandemic and Visceral games
wrapped up into one nice, neat little package. So if EA is somehow able to gain the moral high ground over you, bad look. That's a bad look.
Bad business.
So let's take a look at the plagiarism scandal that EA had back in 2012. Just for comparison, EA responds to Command & Conquer plagiarism claims. Controversial tank designs will not be used in Tiberium Alliance. There were similarities between the designs for Tiberium Alliance's Grinder and Bombard tanks and Warhammer 40k's Bone Cruncher and Baneblade vehicles. Side note, why does Warhammer 40k always have the greatest names for everything? True Nurgle homies, stand up right now. Be recognized in the comments. EA claims that the art depicting the vehicles was released accidentally, and the IP issues have already been resolved with Game Workshop. The artwork was internal EA concept art that was unintentionally released publicly. No Warhammer 40k tanks ever have made an appearance in Command & Conquer, Tiberium Alliances, and never will, an EA representative said. So, the story here is that the scandal has already been resolved by the time the story broke. The story is that there is no longer a story. If you're being charitable to EA, they probably used Warhammer designs as inspiration to base their own designs off of. Or maybe they felt a similar aesthetic would work in Command & Conquer. Regardless, the art was leaked. It was internal and it wasn't released as part of a product that people could purchase or play. This makes it way different.
Marathon on the other fucking hand.
Was it like a beta?
Yeah.
It's gone through all those channels. I think that's an important distinction and one that's, well, EA got the moral high ground. And this 13-year-old comment validates what EA said, that they don't see any evidence of the tank on the game's official website. So they're asking, where did this image come from, basically? Now, if we didn't live in a clown world, then this would be the end of the controversy for the video. But the comedy isn't over, ladies and gentlemen. You see, Bungie had the misfortune of
these fucking guys.
You got both of them just look like souls.
Right around the time this accusation broke. And well, chat, You didn't disappoint.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're working a bunch of stuff. Working with
Oh man,
Bro, because like there was so many technical difficulties as well during the jam. It was like, oh my god,
Vibes
this
in,
is
one
horrible.
screenshot. Boy, he sure looks happy, doesn't he? Plagiarism will make me God. Now, for any artists watching this, how would you feel in this situation? Just let me know down in the comments below. I'm very curious. Yes,
he looks like he wants to go
my work.
take a nap in traffic.
You know, look,
really. That out if
really.
you want. Greedy CEOs and corporations are looking to cull as many talented artists as possible.
God, Phil Spencer aged like fucking bread, yo. Look at him.
Jeez.
Holy shit.
You know,
from their workforce, since they believe robots and AI can create art that is just as good. But as we all learned from SpongeBob,
robots can't love.
if Bungie was so interested in their art they were willing to steal it,
Hey.
why not hire them? And when push comes to shove, are we as a community willing to stand up for these people against the Goliath? I'm just saying, if I see a GoFundMe link pop up on my feed, pretty good chance I'll click it. This plagiarism controversy is really bad because among all the other controversies, Bungie has always like had their solid art direction to lean on. But that is no longer the case.
Yeah.
As one comment under the marathon trailer points
That's
out.
nothing doesn't make sense. They have their own art style. Why
It's
even
like there's the one thing they've always been sort of good at. They've always been able to make this shit look unique and good looking. Like it's one of the few things that you could always depend on them for. And with the exception of the couple of cases, like it's one screenshot from this cutscene. It's been taken, dog. Like it's fucked up. It's one gun graphic guy's been taken, but fuck, damn you guys. Nah, the whole game's aesthetic. That's why bro. You gotta understand the reason why this is such a big deal. It's the baseline over we're Bungie. At the very least, it has to look spectacular.
right?
No, it looks stolen.
Because it
looks
is.
stolen. Because it is stolen. That's so fucked.
It's fucked, bro. The whole thing's fucked.
It's so bad. It's just so bad.
Let's
It has never been this bad.
outwardly.
It's like Jesus. This is top 3 controversies in a gaming studio. This is top 3 falls. It's just how fast.
This is
hard.
a legendary fall from
I'm
grace.
telling you, this how hard and fast it's happening.
But this was the worst live. I did sit and watch some of this live. This was the worst live stream I've ever
Bro,
seen. Period.
I'm telling you, like even along like the technical difficulties. Like the third guy trying to come on to the call, you can't even hear him because he's having issues. This guy, this art director, he looks like he's good. He's getting ready to take a permanent nap. He look like
He's ready to go take on.
oh god, look, he's trying to meet old Aunt Nana.
He's trying to go meet old Yeller in the sky.
Oh god, look, he's trying to see the gulag.
The art team never ceases to amaze me. How do we tell him?
Yeah, who's gonna tell him?
How do we tell him?
This tweet from Jamie Greisemer, former lead designer of Halo CE and Halo 2, and the 30 Seconds of Fun guy who had a huge part in the core gameplay and fun factor of Halo. Completely overwhelmed by the response to this. Thank you so much for the support, and especially to those who have donated. It helps enormously. Good, because I bet you get a cease and desist takedown demand on your own art by Monday morning. Sorry, that might have sounded like I was criticizing you instead of Bungie's comically aggressive lawyers. I love your art, and they should not have stolen it. Comically aggressive lawyers.
Comically aggressive sounds.
Former Bungie employee.
Right.
You know what that sounds like? It sounds like iCarly. You remember when iCarly said, "You think I'm above suing children? Well, I'm not."
Dog.
Says a lot. Now, how else has Bungie responded to this? Well, you could sum up everything in this one article title. The vibes have never been worse.
The vibes have never been worse.
That's a perfect title.
After marathon art theft claims.
The vibes have never been worse.
Have never been worse. Marathon is expected to release in September and sell for $40.
And this has been a whole nother. Hold on, put us on full cam, Mike, because this is another huge issue. Because this is another huge issue, right? It's one thing to have all of these issues happen in your company, right? It's one thing to have this beta and everybody sees you're one hope for the studios. Game's looking pretty lackluster, man. Especially the genre. I don't know. It's looking rough, man. It really needs to be a home run. You're releasing a game that is meant to be played online purely.
Yeah.
That traditionally is competitive. That you're casualifying heavily to try to appeal to a broader audience in a genre where it hasn't really been seen to work.
Yeah.
And you're releasing it for money. This is not a free to play. That's the huge. This was a mind blowing fact to me before the controversies. Yeah. Like, they're releasing an extraction shooter for money. You have to pay money to play this. Dog. In the world where we're gonna start seeing $80 games, you want me to pay money for this? Damn it being half the price. You want me to pay money? It already looked like a risk to play and waste my time on. You want me to waste my money on it? No, bro.
It's not even going to be on Game Pass because it's PlayStation.
Oh, God. Bro, you're asking me to pay money for this. And now it's finally come to light. Oh, we're not just paying money for this. We're paying money for stolen art.
Yeah.
we're paying you.
We're footing your lawyer fee for this cease and desist.
We're paying you to play on this map with 90% of it is stolen art. Okay, bro. Yeah, sure. All right, dog. Nah, man. We don't got the type of money, fool. Put it back on cam.
At this rate, though, so much uncertainty has been planted in the seeds of this game. I don't know where things are going to go forward with this, but I would be shocked if the game is not delayed. Even going as far back as like Battlefield 5, like when you hear a lot of negative shit about a game before it's even out, kind of poisons the well. And it's a damn shame because I think even if it's an extraction shooter, Marathon deserves another chance. Doom got one. But this controversy has been a complete disaster for Bungie and Marathon by all accounts. There are no real winners in this story, except if you follow N2 and at least, look at their art and give them some support. By the time this goes up, I'm sure there will be some other updates, but the right thing to do is so simple. Bungie has to fervently apologize and either credit this person for their contributions, or they write a check. A really big check. No matter what, the Bungie's checkbook is coming out.
Yeah, honestly.
But what do you think? Are you still interested in playing Marathon?
No,
what's your favorite thing to play?
I wasn't ever interested in playing Marathon. At this point, I feel like the interest in Marathon is secondary. Should you even be bothered to try Marathon now? It's because it's like, bro, already you have to understand. The word of mouth was most of the stuff to be hyped for was going to be coming later on anyway, because this is a live service. It's going to be a live service game. Right?
I didn't even know there was anything coming after. What was the stuff to be hyped for?
Right. It's like the innovative stuff, because the innovative thing, because it was a little casual file. It was going to be like story based and lore and all types of stuff. Just not for this map. It's the next map. The map's coming out later. That was already the word. If you've watched enough videos from enough people before this controversy, you would have known that was the consensus. That doesn't matter. People aren't going to even be willing to walk in the door, bro. It's over. I don't think a delay. They already needed a delay. I don't think a delay fixes this at this point. They already needed a delay to have the actual fun in the game. Like, I think it's over. Like,
it's definitely over.
A triple delay to fix the whole first mount.
The game's definitely
stop it.
It's definitely cooked.
To fix the whole art direction? No, son, it's over.
Long story short, guys, the game's cooked. Bungie's cooked. And we're gonna be here to laugh all the way down. I mean, just laugh them all the way to the grave at this point. So, yeah. You got anything? You got any final words, my brother?
We'd appreciate it if you know what I'm saying, you scroll on down below, swipe down below, whatever you got to do, you know what I'm saying, interact with some of them buttons down there, you feel me? They start glowing and all sorts of shit. You start tapping on them, hey man, fuck with your boy, you feel me? Or if you're on any other formats, there's some buttons that also do some stuff, you feel me? Hey, anywhere you see some of our stuff, hey, we fuck with you if you fuck with us.
And if you made it to the end of this video, we appreciate it. If you made it to the end of the video, comment your favorite Halo game in the comments below.
Oh God,
as a final rest in peace.
Oh God, look,
a final send off to Bungie. We're just gonna name our favorite Bungie game, which Bungie is probably game, Halo.
Or,
so name your favorite Halo.
Oh God, your favorite Destiny expansion.
Yeah,
look.
Yeah, if you didn't play Halo, you missed out on Halo. Your favorite Destiny expansion.
Oh God, that's all we got for you though.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys on the next Critical Hit. Peace.